You know, you may sound like crap outside of the shower, but for some reason when you step into that shower, you're Pavarotti. You know, that's an extreme example, but you understand what I mean. Okay. And I'm running way longer on explaining these than I was wanting to. And there are so many effects, it would be impossible for me to try and go into them. Those are the real basic ones, which are all represented right here. You know, reverb, you know, you got big empty hall, club, hall, plate, is just representations of different atmospheres. Dry and wet is what you're going to use on all of your effects, on how much or how little it affects them. Usually with reverb, you know, I don't usually go over 20% unless I'm specifically wanting to make it sound like it's echoing all over the damn place. The idea is to use it to give that, it gives richness. All singers use it. I don't care how good they are, unless they're opera and they don't need effects on their, you know, they don't even use microphones. But I don't care if you're heavy metal or Mariah frickin' Carey, who I hate, but that's besides the point. Everybody uses some reverb because it adds a lot of depth and richness to vocals. Again, your basic EQ, you got your treble, mids, and bass. And all that does is that, you know, those three chops in your frequencies, it raises or lowers them. You know, this is you got flang, chorus, phaser, and wah-wah, which are just different effects. You can either use it on tempo or time, which affects how it interacts with the tracks. If you use tempo, you can put in 1-2 beats, full measures. For time, it affects over a period of time rather than a period of beats. Your rate is how fast or slow it's going to affect, and depth is the same as dry wet. You know, how much or how little it's going to affect the recording. Delay, again, is basically just a specific version of reverb, in that it also has the time and tempo thing, and whether it affects by a period of time or a period of notes. I usually just stick with the notes because it can do the same thing on either one. It just depends on how you want it to sound, because you get slightly different effects either way. Again, dry wet is how much or how little it's going to affect. Decay is how long it takes for the echo to die away. So at a full 90 there and a full 100, everything that's playing is going to be just repeating, echoing over and over and over and over and over again, and dying away real slowly, which is really nice for creepy effects, but anything else, it gets annoying as hell. But in this case, I want something that's a little bit weird, because again, I'm doing effects on the vocals right here, and since the vocals don't match up with the music at all, I'm going to make them strange. So I'm going to put distortion on here all the way up to 100%, which is going to make it sound really crunchy. And then I'm going to put some delay on here I'm going to have it die away kind of slow, and I'm going to have it affected at about 75%. So this will create kind of a strange sounding effect just on this track. Other than that, I was planning to keep this fairly clean of effects, but just as an example of how something else that you can come across is something like this is one I found that's really interesting. Oops. Where did it go? Okay, this is called Turnstile, and there are ones out there for free, but they take what a track is and completely tear it up. They're like distortion on overdrive. So I'm only going to add a little bit of weirdness to this, but at a high rate, so a little bit of depth. These right here affect how it, I mean, these things, they're unexplainable. You have to play around with them and hear what they're doing because they're all different. I mean, they all basically do the same thing, which is taking a sound and they, like I said, just kind of tear it up and do weird things to it. But it's not a way that you can just explain away. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to... Basically, I'm just going to play around with it a little bit and just leave it as is. And you'll be able to hear on this version of the recording what it does, because I'm using it on the shaker, the tambourine shaker that'll come in right before the aggressive tom drums. So you'll be able to hear just how strange these things can make something sound. Okay, I'm running into a little over 14 minutes on this one. I'm going to have to cut this one up too. Damn it. But, alright, thanks for watching. I hope you're getting some good information out of this. I know it's actually helping me remember some of these things, because like I said on one of those earlier videos, I've gotten a little rusty on this. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Peace out.